The evolution of Sports Talk Television live here nightly. All Bucs Report. It's the Sports Lab. I'm your host, Blake, giving you something to think about on tonight's show. All right, we're at halftime as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are surprisingly losing to the New York Football Giants 14-6. We're live here on the Sports Web from the Deck Bar and Grill. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. And we came into this game thinking about and hearing it from a lot of people saying this could be a trap game, and certainly the Bucs look like they're flat. Brady doesn't necessarily look like he doesn't look very sharp at this point. He's missed a lot of passes in this game, either with young wide receivers or just Brady being off tonight. I mean, what do you say about this? This is a 1-6 football team, Blake, and the Bucs look like they look like they're the 1-6 football team.
Absolutely, and it's more than just Brady. These wide receivers are showing you exactly why you added Antonio Brown to this roster to try to get more production out of everybody that's not named Mike Evans.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and 3 catches in this game, but a largely ineffective running game. Of course, it's not helped by the victim of volume, which, again, he's going to be the victim of the bench.
The bench, where he belongs.
Turns over the ball when you're catching it. You catch the ball, and then you turn it over, and you put the Giants in a great situation with the short field. Let me go out to the guys here with the second shot. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, Mr. Philip Schwager. What do you guys see from this game right now? Not much, right?
Discombobulated.
Yeah, I'm seeing a team that came into this seeing Tampa Bay being a really good team, giving them their best right now. They're taking away, their greatest weapon, the deep play, the big yards played. I think the longest reception they've had today was a 19 yards. So they're definitely taking that away from the Buccaneers.
And, we saw it right there at the very end. Okay, not knowing what's going on. They're saying, Tom Brady likes to call 2 plays in the huddle in a 2-minute offense. 11 seconds on the clock. 29 coaches in the NFL let that clock run down to 2, makes the suck up, makes the field goal. The offense, we saw it with on Thursday night against Chicago a few weeks back, and again tonight. I know we're going to say, well, when they're losing, it's coaching. This coaching looks discombobulated. By that I mean is they don't look like they have any kind of offensive game plan, and the Giants are giving them their best.
Yeah, no, and that's what it comes down to. And you talked about it. This is a football team that has been in some close games. They lose a heartbreaker to the Philadelphia Eagles. They're not doing a lot. They're just doing enough. They're taking advantage of the Buccaneer mistakes. First sack in the last 2 weeks, but you looked at me and said, that's not on Donovan Smith. That's on Brady not being able to find anybody, not anybody getting open, right?
Yep, he had more than 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. That's more than enough to get the ball out or throw it away. So I can't really get on Donovan for that one. Normally I get on him 9 times out of 10, but that one I can't really fault him for.
Now, guys, I will say this. You get some momentum right before the half with the 40-yard field goal from Ryan Suckup. It's been 2 field goals, and that's about it. But at least you get some points on the board. It looked like, once again, there was some confusion on that 4th down. You let that time go off. Maybe there's a possibility where you could put together another play where you get closer to the red zone. And once again, I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Peter, did you say there was some confusion on a 4th down play? Again, doesn't that sound familiar?
I knew you were going to bring it up.
Well, it sounds – and here's the thing about it. I said this going into the game. We didn't want to use the term trap game, but a great prize fight. You get it. Mike Tyson's supposed to win every fight, hands down. Shows up in Tokyo, a little off his game, gets punched in the mouth by Buster Douglas, and ends up going down. And all I'm saying is that the Buccaneers just look like they were not ready for this game. And from an offensive standpoint, it looked like during the entire first half, they're just throwing everything but the kitchen sink out to see what works.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm not seeing Rob Gronkowski. I saw Cameron Brate in there for one, and then Tanner Hudson totally getting blanketed by two secondary players back there. I think they need to start bracketing these guys a little bit more in offense. Get your tight ends and your running backs, your tight ends, your receivers, bracket them out. Spread the defensive side of the ball for the Giants open. I think that's what needs to open up the passing game right there. 19-yard completion being your biggest play of the game is not good.
Dictate the flow. Dictate the flow. They need to dictate. So far, they've let the Giants dictate the entire first half. Now the Buccaneers lock down, make those adjustments at halftime, and come out and dictate the flow. And we'll see the Bucs come back and win this game. 42-10, my prediction before the game. Doesn't look too great right now. Right now, I take 27-17.
Well, and then that may be the score of it because this team, like we've all talked about, it seems like they're flat. They're playing down to their competition. And once again, defensively, we see The dreaded will routes. I mean, explain this to me. How is it possible? And Devin White doesn't have necessarily bad coverage,
no clue.
but he's not looking back at the ball. He's looking up at the stars, thinking, star bright, star bright. May I sing tonight? Somebody brings some type of coverage, and it's not going to happen. Dion Lewis all day long is going to catch that ball.
Yeah, Devin White didn't even know he caught it till he tripped over him. He had no idea where the ball was the entire route, but I said it. Peter showed it here on the winning angle. They run wheel routes, and I think I said right before that clip ended, trust and believe the Giants will throw this route, and they threw that route, and it was for a touchdown,
right.
Unfortunately.
I'll go back to you guys here really quick. Some missed opportunities you've seen a couple of times here, Philip. And, of course, you got Philip Swigler, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, Philip Swigler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report, one of the best chefs I know. Of course, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, couple Ray. Carlton.
That guy.
I don't cook.
You're killing me here. Carlton Davis had a couple of opportunities here. It seems like he's getting closer and closer to an interception. Even on one of those opportunities, most likely could have had a pick six.
Yeah, Blake and I were talking about that, as the plays were going on. He's a step, maybe 2 steps away from really taking the ball away. He's playing aggressive on these receivers and whoever he's covering in his, in zones or whatnot. He's just that 1, 2, maybe 3 steps away from taking the ball away and giving the Bucs back the momentum that they need.
And then don't forget, Dave Gettleman gets all kinds of grief when he actually drafts Daniel Jones out of Duke. And Daniel Jones is a cerebral quarterback. And so far, they've let him, again, dictate that flow. The defense has kind of been throwing everything at him as well, but they've got to definitely get in closer on him. Watch for the small pass. Look for the Giants to try to do ball control offense in the second half. They did have a little bit of success running in the first half. The Buccaneers need to tighten that thing down and then start getting hits in on Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to, getting hits on Daniel Jones, and I think that's probably been the most disappointing thing. Besides Devin White getting beat on the will route, he redeems himself with the sack, but besides that, we heard all this talk about JPP and Shaq Barrett, and none of these guys are showing up, and on top of it, we thought that they had an advantage because simply this offensive line hasn't been able to practice all week long with the COVID situation. You've got some rookies on there, and they're shutting this defensive line out. You can't do that versus a top defense if you want to be the top defense in the NFL, Blake.
Well, I'm always the one that tries to bring things back to perspective. It ain't how you start. It's how you finish.
Right.
I said the Giants came out great with a great game plan. They came out earlier. They came out with a no huddle offense, which took away the Bowles' defense from getting subs in and getting different players in for packages and different blitzes and things like that. So that's what you saw here earlier in the first half, and they tried to take away some of that defensive momentum. Yes, JPP hasn't showed up yet on the stat sheet yet, but hopefully they can get something going. But to really see what's going to go on in the second half is the adjustments they're going to have to make to the Giants. And I really want to see what they do on both sides of the ball.
All right, tell you what, we're running down here. Let's go ahead, go out to some of these comments, and then we'll get back to it. Hopefully the Bucs come out the second half and do better than what they've had, but it has not looked good. That's what Mike says there. Family, shaking my head. It's going to be all right. Tom, with the face of all of us tonight, this is a big-time shocker, but the game is not over. It's like you said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. This Bucs team in the second half better come out, and I got to feel like I wish I was a fly on that locker room so I could hear what's going on in that locker room. Not good at all, says Sitting Yash, says, okay, let's keep calm. Don't panic yet. No panic here. This friggin' suck-ups. I don't know what that means, but okay. Giants, says Chris, relax. We have been here before. Let's settle in, says Andrew Fulbear. The big board, off-target throws, and being out-coached. Olga, adjustments will be made in the second half. Let's see. Jerry Lee, heads up. They will come out together. I don't want to have you guys miss the second half kickoff. So really quick, adjustments from Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, Philip Swigler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. What are you saying?
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, they got to start playing the defense better. They got to get into Daniel Jones' face. They got to put him under pressure. Don't let him sit behind the pocket comfortably. And then, let's start making some turnovers there in the secondary.
And, guys, this is why I said last week when they had to move the Raiders game up to 4 o'clock. We have this primetime game. We have the Saints again next Sunday, which, by the way, this team so far looks like they've been looking a little bit too far ahead. Then we have the Rams on Monday night 2 weeks after that. All these primetime games in a month and a half, the NFL set it up to let the Buccaneers be the premier team. It's time for the premier Buccaneers to show up this second half.
Absolutely. Blake, what do you say?
On offense, they have to, of course, I said this, other guys have to show up. Gronkowski is going to have to come through here. They're going to have to keep getting the ball to Leonard Fournette. I don't think Ronald Jones is going to see the field again tonight. On defense, you got to put your hands on the wide receivers, specifically Evan Ingram. Put your hands on them. Force Daniel Jones to beat you with pinpoint passes or to try to mobile, and then hopefully you can get a turnover out of it.
Get the ball to Evans. Your defense has to show up. You've got to have balance to your offense, and of course you got to protect Brady. They've done a good job of that. Gave up a sack, but they got to get it together. Which is the 1-6 team here? Is it the Bucs? They play like it in the first half as they're down to the New York Giants at halftime, 14-6 on Monday Night Football. For the great Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, Couple Ray, Philip Swigler, editor-in-chief of Bucs Report. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Enjoy the second half. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Will you shut up and be quiet?